I haven't, but I've heard it's really good.
Yes, so have I, and that just eats away at me. Have you seen it, Olivia?
Hello,
No,
Simon.
sorry.
Olivia Colman, hello, how are you?
Hello, very well.
What a great way to start an interview, by the way. Paddy walks in with a copy of Mark's book under his arm.
And a copy of Mark's hair on his head, more importantly.
Yeah, that's true. So, first of all, why did you come in with a copy of Mark's book under your arm?
Because I've been reading it. I've been on this tour with Tyrannosaur, you know, for all these cinemas doing Q&As. And I brought the book and I've taken it around with me and read it on my travels. And it's all creased and covered in coffee, you know, so it's proper, been lived in and read and knocked about and that. And I just wanted to get it signed. It's actually, the chapter about critics was very helpful to me this week, believe me.
I'm really glad, thank you very much. I take that as very, very great praise. Why I say the chapter about critics instead because you haven't read it.
I have read every word
is
of
that
it.
we're
We've
completely
already...
useless and redundant and have got nothing to do with how much a movie sells.
Exactly. I was just going to praise you the chapter precisely along those lines. Olivia, I'm sorry you just walked into all this.
It's all right.
It's very good to have you here. But I would have thought that the critics have been kind, Paddy.
No, they've been brilliant, yeah. It's been great, to be honest with you. Yeah, I have to admit, I was a little bit afraid of it all. You know, everybody pretends it doesn't matter, and but it sort of does. And I was pleased with how it's you know, been how people have responded to it. Yeah.
Okay. Just explain the back. Explain Tyrannosaur, and then and where Olivia fits in, and then we can include her in the conversation because at the moment she's clearly just a little excluded.
Do you want me to explain Tyrannosaur?
Well, it's your film.
Oh. Can someone else do it?
So how long... Okay, so that's very interesting. So even though it's been a part of your life for a very long time, you still can't describe it.
Well, I'm not great at the summing up thing. I mean, it's not a great pitch. No, but when I did a Q&A in Toronto and in Sundance, the first question was, could you please tell me the synopsis of this movie? Oh, you've just seen it, man. Why do you need to know the synopsis? And I realised I can't.
Shall we ask Olivia?
Oh, okay.
Olivia, tell us about Tyrannosaur.
Okay, it's we've sort of coined the phrase unconventional love story.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did
it's didn't we?
Yeah.
And it's going well.
Which
so
doesn't even begin to explain.
But and it challenges your perceptions. So from the off, you see a man, you've made a snap decision about him, and by the end of the film, invariably you discover you're wrong. So Joseph, Peter Mullen, it's all right to say what he does in the first minute or 7, is it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We kind of think that if it's in the first reel,
it's half an hour.
It's all right.
Plot spoiler.
Okay, it's not a spoiler. So, well, he can't put into words his anger and frustration, and he reacts with actions, and he takes his frustration out on his faithful dog and kicks him to death, and instantly feels remorse. And so you look at this man, you make a decision about him, you hate him, and the beautiful thing about the film is you end up adoring him and loving him by the end. And similarly, you see
that was a spoiler.
Woman, that was
a spoiler. Yeah.
Sorry, sorry.
And that was a rude word. So okay, so let's just scroll back. So we've made this Peter Mullen, who always feels like a ticking time bomb anyway. Mm-hmm. So he's the man that we see right at the very beginning, and he eventually runs into your shop. So just explain where you come in.
So I play Hannah, who, on the face of it, is a very nice middle-class woman with very few troubles, nice house, nice husband, nice car. And he makes assumptions about her and has a bit of a go at her, and she takes it. And it turns out he's wrong about her as well. And you find out about it. They find out about each other and discover they need each other, and they become inseparable and soulmates, really.
Okay. Don't that you can't go any further than that.
Okay.
No. And Hannah is very devout. I mean, that's clearly part of the first exchanges when Peter Mullen has run into your charity shop and he's hiding, and you basically want to pray for him. But you do pray for him.
Yeah. Yes, and she has an incredibly strong faith, and I sort of wonder if she wears it as it's her protection, and it's the thing she needs to cope with everything that's going on in her life, and she tries to offer help to him as well. And it turns out actually they just need love, for each other and things, I think.
Paddy,
just explain Eddie Marsan's character who's married to Hannah. What can you tell us about him?
Eddie plays James, who is Hannah's husband in the movie, and I guess really the part of the film is that how people kind of live with their fears or with their monsters, if you like, and how they articulate that anger You know, Eddie Marsan's character is somebody who's abusing Hannah behind closed doors, you know. And so she's in this very troubled marriage. And early on in the film, Peter, you know, meets her and makes these assumptions, like Olivia said, but without realising, how would he know that she was living with these monsters of her own? But whereas Joseph is a character who will publicly display his anger, you know, Eddie's character, James, is a little bit more kind of malevolent, if you like, and will do it all behind closed doors.
Yeah, and after his Alice Creed film that he did, where he plays a pretty terrifying, creepy guy.
Yeah.
Well, after seeing him in your film, I think if he appeared at the door, I mean, he's been on the show quite a few times, and what a great actor and a terrific bloke, but he scares the living daylights out of me. I don't want to meet him at all, ever, because he's a monster.
Well, he's just he's a great actor, and he knows.
He's a fantastic actor.
He knows when to turn it on and off, you know. And the great thing about Eddie, like all these actors, is you don't play the damage. You don't do that. You play the human being, you know. And I think that's the key to playing these kind of roles.
Can I just ask you, in his absence, the character that he plays, there's a couple of scenes here which are, I mean, I have to say, and I mean this as a compliment, I found the film extremely upsetting in certain places, which it's meant to be. Did Eddie Marsan have any trouble at all about? Because there are some things that he has to do, you know, in his role as an abusive husband, which, you know, is portraying the abusive husband. I was really quite taken aback that he. I mean, did he have any worries about it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that probably I had the worst time of it. You know, I'd written that, and
Sure.
And then you're directing it. All of a sudden, it's in front of you, and it's happening. But it's all illusion. It's all storytelling. But no, I guess all along that all I wanted to do, as brutal as the film is at times, but all I honestly wanted to do was make a love story about these broken people, I was just, I guess part of me, we're so defined by class in our cinema, you know, and as a society, that I thought it was interesting, one of the aspects of the story, where these people from two different parts of society somehow find a kinship, you know, and a love that's higher than just getting into bed. You know, it's like, by the end of the film, they're like people who've gone through their own personal wars, but it's a shared experience, and they're almost like soldiers in a way. With Hannah, without revealing anything, going to a place that even Joseph's character has never gone to in his life.
And the violence, Olivia, is happening to you, it's happening to your character. I mean, was it just acting?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
No, obviously, no. What I mean that is this level of violence when it's being meted out. Is it distressing to be a part of that?
No, because as you know, during the course of all the Q&As we've done and things, and Paddy says, you know, you don't want a method actor anywhere near stuff like that, and you want to know that since you cut and you stop, and you don't have to take it with you. It's you've vented everything you needed to in the scene, and that's enough. And no, it never, you know, stuck with anybody.
So are you the kind of person who can do that? You can do a scene of, you know, great emotional intensity, and they're really strong scenes, some of those, and then at the end of it, just out and all fine.
Well, not instantly sort of clicking out of it, but, you know, it's a. You're still a bit shaky after having a good old cry, but that you do know that's the end of it, and you do know you're just pretending and just showing someone else's story.
I mean, I have to say that. I mean, I'd say this even if you weren't here. I think your performance in that film is breathtaking, and I genuinely had to walk around the block afterwards because it was, you know, it was really extraordinary.
Thank you very much.
But just to say, you know, I think people could watch Tyrannosaur and think we had some kind of dark set, you know. And
it doesn't look like a bunch of laughs.
No, but it was. It's you know, contrary to that, it is, you know, in a way, you don't do those performances unless you're in a safe environment, and people there's this myth about creating this sort of chaos, and out of it comes this work, and I don't think that's the case as an actor. I think you create a place of trust where people can go into that playground, and that's how you're able to get those performances, and nobody gets injured or hurt. There's no obtuse behaviour. You only do that with trust, and we were a team, so there was never any of that.
Do you want to just explain the title? Because it's probably not immediately clear why it's called Tyrannosaur from what we've been discussing so far.
No, well, it's I mean, it's one of the. It's explained in the film, and part of me, you know, thinks should leave it to be revealed there. But it's just a reference to Peter Mullen's character's dead wife. It was a nickname that he had for
what
her.
happened
You
to
know.
you?
And I was going to change it like a couple of years ago when I just studied in script.
Well, you
because
look
I
like you
just
need to
thought
go to the hospital.
in the months leading up to it coming out. I'm going to have all the, you know, there's no dinosaurs
prayed
in
for
this
you last
movie.
night.
Where are the dinosaurs and all that kind of jokes and things, and that did happen. But I just had to
Why
have
did you
faith
come
that, you
here?
know, people.
It never occurred to me actually,
Get
because
their head around
the
it.
poster kind of makes it clear that there are. I suppose there might be some people that
Yeah.
think it's another Jurassic Park.
Yeah, we're not talking to those people. Sort of.
But it's going to surprise a lot of audience.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some emails. So let's just play you a clip from the movies. Here's a little bit from Tyrannosaur, which opens today.
You're a child of God.
Peter Mullen has the most extraordinary voice. It's just accentuated it as a piece of radio, but he's just terrific, isn't he?
Yeah, amazing.
Right, so a bunch of emails and correspondence here. Amaresh Colley says, I went to see Tyrannosaur this evening at the BFI South Bank. Really liked it. I shan't say anything about the plot, as the less known about it before watching it, the better. Be careful what you say, Mark.
Don't look at me. I'm the person who's been.
Me.
Well, actually, it's usually him.
Nadia.
Simon Plot spoiler Mayo.
Nadia says, I am by nature a very lazy person, so it takes a lot for me to bother doing something like writing an email to a radio show. However, I've been compelled to get in touch because last night I attended a preview screening of Tyrannosaur. I was pretty sure the film was going to be good. Paddy Considine is involved after all, but I was absolutely floored by it. It is a beautiful, powerful film, but special mention has to go to Olivia. In the Q&A afterwards, she very shyly and modestly kept attributing her stunning performance to Paddy's script. Yes, Paddy's script is excellent. What is left unsaid is as important as the dialogue. Olivia conveys so much fear, strength, quiet contempt through her subtle movement and delivery. There were moments in the film where I wanted to tear through the screen and hug her. I can't remember the last time I've seen an actor deliver such a potent human performance. Sterling work for Peter Mullen and Eddie Marsden, and I'm so pleased for Paddy Considine. Can't wait to see what he does next.